man, is it hot out there. I don't know how it is where you live, but it's like so hot. This room is very, very warm right now. The AC can't keep up. We have a little mini AC unit like in the other room, but it's not really getting to this room. We might need another one. Let's change the subject and talk about video games today. So I was talking to someone online. I was telling him how I think I have like the worst video game collection ever. A lot of this is because I am very cheap. I don't spend much money online getting the video games that I really want. Even though I like them in my collection, I like to spend very little money on whatever. Sometimes I will pay, if I find it out in the wild, I will kind of spend up for it, but typically I don't like just going online and just getting what I want. I like to find it, I guess, naturally. And a lot of this is also stuff that I've had from video game hauls that just haven't sold for whatever reason, or I haven't been able to trade in because no one else wants them. That's kind of the accumulation that I have now. But I was like, wouldn't that be really funny to show that off? So that's what we're gonna do today. So I think we're gonna start with Atari. Now I do have, I think maybe, I might have some video games that are older than Atari, but I'll show those in a minute because those are gonna be a bunch. And I have the Atari right here. This is the only Atari game that I think I have. But it is E.T. Extraterrestrial, and it deserves its reputation. It is so bizarre and confusing. The reason I have this game is because I picked it up in a big bunch of games that I bought in a Target parking lot, I think. I could have sold this, and I think it actually has gone up in value, like 10 to 15, but at the time it was worth like -2. It's because it really deserves its reputation. It's just a terrible game. One day I was playing it way back in the day. My brother had set up an Atari in the front room just to see how it would play, I guess. And we put this in, and I started playing it, and I just kept falling in a hole for seemingly no reason. I didn't know why I was falling in a hole. Was I in a swamp with like giant ravines? Nothing was explained. So I look back at that experience very fondly, even though I was very frustrated at the moment, and I think it's actually really, really funny. So that's why I have this. I also have this random game, and it's the only SNES game that I have, CIB, which is complete in box. It has the manual. It does have everything, and it does work. I have tested it, but man, it's like the worst game on SNES. I mean, maybe not. Maybe Video Game Nerd might know the answer to that, but this is not popular. I spent up for it at $10 at a random Goodwill, a expensive like rich people Goodwill, and I just thought like, hey, I don't have any SNES that are CIB, so let me just get this one because it's probably the only one I will find. You usually don't find these boxes because they were just so often thrown away. And so to find one complete like this really kind of amazed me, just like out there on a Goodwill shelf. For $10, I picked it up. It is now worth, drumroll please, $20. Yeah, so this is another winner. My only other SNES game is this iconic classic, but that's it. That's the two I have. This is my Odyssey 2 collection. It's not really a collection, more like I sold off the good stuff and this is what's left. The labels are just coming off, and they have names called like Speedway and Alien Invaders and like baseball. This is like a literal board game that you're supposed to play with it. I don't really know what to do these, and I keep procrastinating on selling these, so I don't really consider these an actual part of my collection. They're just kind of sitting here hoarder style. Hey, yes, I'm in a different room because I can't be in my office anymore. it got too hot. So now I'm in this room. I don't have a ring light because that broke, and now you can't see my eyes. It's just gonna have to work. So this is my PS1 collection. Some of this is intentional, some of this is, again, leftover garbage, just like leftover stuff that needs to be sold and is just kind of here. We'll start with my Tomb Raider collection. Back in the day, I used to have a lot of these. I used to have a lot of PS1, actually, and I don't know what happened to my old collection, whether it got sold down the line. I have moved so many times. Stuff gets lost in moves if you don't care for them correctly, which I did. So it is what it is. But Tomb Raider 2, I am a huge Tomb Raider fan, as most people know. Of course, the Thrift Raider, that's where I get it from. And then there's just like a manual without a case. I should fix that. Tomb Raider 3, which I think is the worst in the series. Tomb Raider, another copy of Tomb Raider 2. I saw a copy of Tomb Raider 2 and 3 disc only at the thrift store. Could not leave them behind, even though I already had a copy. I don't know why. Maybe it was like a better copy or something. Yeah, I do wish I had my original PS1 collection because everything was kind of still had the correct boxes and everything. I had a lot of cool games. Powerpuff Girls, this is a pretty cool game. I did not sell it just because I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool for the collection. I have everything here. I should try to play it and see how it goes. And then Pandemonium, you guys saw me pick this up a while back. I picked it up for $20 at 2nd and Charles in Covington, Louisiana. I just bought it for my collection. I paid up for it because I'm always cheap. And Dragon Ball Z GT, this game is like falling apart. This is actually, if you have the original, this is like 100, maybe 100 plus game, but this is the repress, and it's only maybe about a $20 game, and I'd have to put it in like a better casing and everything. So yeah, I'd have to fix like everything about it. It's just the case is ruined. So, but I think the disc is okay. Yeah, disc is okay. So that is still sellable. If I fix this case, it's literally like falling apart in my hands. Metal Gear Solid is a great game. I think they're coming out on the Switch soon. I saw the Nintendo Direct, and that's coming out. All the Metal Gears are coming out on one game on the Switch, so that's cool. These games are always really, really hard for me. I did find they'd be cool to be in my collection, but again, I don't have the original case. Bought them 50 cents a disc, which is still a really good deal. Rampage, 50 cents. And Star Wars Masters, I guess Star Wars Masters. I need to get rid of this. Don't care about that. So here's a couple more random video games that I found sitting around. This is Theater Rhythm, Final Fantasy, and I remember this came in like a box of other video games. It was a huge lot that I had bought a few years ago, and it was just kind of something that was extra, so I don't know. I mean, I probably paid, pennies for it. Don't think it's worth very much. I think I just looked it up and it's worth maybe 10 to 15. So yeah, it's kind of a weird, odd one. Another one is, I just picked this up and I don't have any Wii U at all. So I decided to pick it up because it was only $1 and I was like, okay, I can't pass that up. Of course, maybe I took this away from somebody else who would have really liked to have Snoopy's Grand Adventure for $1 on the Wii U. But I do believe it is on the Switch as well. I just didn't have any Wii U and thought I could add it. That'd be interesting, and who knows if it'll ever go up in value. So I found better lighting. My eyes don't look like sunken pits now. Anyway, I have kind of a, not a great, but like a better PS2 collection. I've started picking these up again. Anything kind of just interesting and cheap, I will just go ahead and pick up, because why not? But I really like picking up these demo discs. I used to have a ton of demo discs back in the day. Didn't think they were valuable, so didn't put them aside or anything. I also bought several a few years ago and sold all of those, because they do go for like, don't pass these up. This one I think I'm just gonna throw in the collection and keep indefinitely, because like I said, I think they're cool. They do get beat up quite a bit. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. And I did pay $5 for this. I think that's kind of expensive. The lady just wanted $5 for every video game, and this was a regular video game to her, so I think I did get some deal out of it. But yeah, so this was a Goodwill find. I think it was only like, there's no price in here. I started leaving the prices on games that I find at thrift stores and everything, because it's fun to see what I paid and what they're worth now. I think this was only a few bucks. It was in like the movie section. It is The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. I really need to clean up the cover. I don't think the disc looks great. Yeah, it doesn't. But discs can be cleaned and resurfaced. I actually don't have a PS2. So I keep thinking I'm gonna like run into a PS2. Yes, I could just buy one online full price or whatever, but I don't want to do that. And so many PS2s, they're laser dyed. I used to have one, laser dyed, spent $100 to fix the laser, and it also died. So anyway, $5.99 for this Jaws Unleashed. I feel like that's kind of a lot, but I really enjoyed the graphics on the back here. Again, really wish I could get that. If you would like to send me a PS2, I'll send you my address. Sly Cooper. I think this was another thrift store find, but I have no idea how much I paid. Probably no more than a few bucks. Got the manual and everything. It is a greatest hits. Those tend to be worth a little less than the original, but it's just for my collection. I would like to play this. Of course, I've got my Tomb Raiders. I am missing Underworld, though. I thought I had all of them, and I'm missing Underworld, so I'm gonna have to go back and get that. That one I may go out of my way for, because I like to collect all the Tomb Raiders. Tomb Raider Legend, Angel of Darkness, which I actually hated this game. A lot of people really like this game. They had another player named Curtis Trent here, and people love him. I never understood why this game, I just hated it. Anniversary, this was okay. It's basically a remake of Tomb Raider 1. Tomb Raider 1 was a very interesting game, and I think this kind of like watered it down some, but overall a decent game. Then there is Ratchet and Clank, another game I never got to play, but once I get my PS2, we'll do that. This is, I think, the most interesting and maybe even the most valuable game. So I kept the price tag on there, $12.99. I got this at a used store that sells kind of everything. Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Zombie Ninja Pro-Am. And it's a golfing game, and it's probably one of the most bizarre golfing games you could ever imagine. I need to play this. I don't think I think it got pretty bad reviews, but it's got everything in it. I would love to give this a shot. But like when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I love Aqua Teen, so I had to have it. So in the past, I haven't really been much of a Nintendo fan. Ever since I got a PlayStation, like that was kind of it for me. I never really had much Nintendo, but going back, I know that Nintendo has had some good games. I've picked up GameCube, but most of everything I've picked up, I've sold. I've started to pick up GameCubes that are maybe like interesting to have, interesting to own, and this is, I guess, one of those. Resident Evil 0. And look at these sweet tribal tats. I did like Resident Evil. I was more of a Silent Hill fan. I had all the Silent Hills. Obviously, not anymore, I wish. But I never played this one. Okay, on to the Wii. I actually have, like, for what I have, I don't think it's the worst games you could ever own for Wii. Wii has a lot of, what's it called, shovelware games. The Wii was notorious for that, but these actually are decent games. Resident Evil 4, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Donkey Kong Country Returns, and Mario Kart Wii, which, that's a classic. Hey, I don't think you could go wrong with these 4 games. And now for the saddest part of this whole collection. The fishing games. Yes, I have 3 fishing games on 3 different consoles. No one will accept them. I can't get any credit for them at any game stores. They're basically coasters, but I also can't bring myself to throw them away. So, first of all, we have on the Xbox Trophy Base 2007. It is scratched to shit. It looks terrible. I can't throw it in the trash. Next we have Wii Hooked. I've never even put it in the Wii to try this. I probably never will. And this is really sad because I actually thought game stores would take this in, but because it's on the Dreamcast, I'm like, you know, Dreamcast, right? I was sadly mistaken. It says no manual. It is in the original case. It's these 2 dudes going fishing. It is Sega Marine Fishing. I don't think this is very good, guys. If you call 1-900-200-SEGA, you can get some Sega game secrets for it, but it is 95 cents a minute. So at your discretion and wallet. To top it off, earlier I removed Wii Hooked, and I completely forgot I had this. NCAA 99. I think I would have to pay a game store to take this. And again, I can't throw games away. Like, I just feel like somebody will want them. Maybe not me, but like someone will. So if you want these 3 fishing games, or even NCAA 99, you can give me like $15 and I will give you all of those with shipping. Maybe someone? Well, that was the saddest video game collection that you've probably ever seen. During the pandemic, I was definitely getting into watching collection videos, people picking up video games here and there, and, you know, doing it cheaply. So that's kind of what I got into too. And I think what I'll continue to do, yeah, anybody can go on eBay and pay thousands of dollars for what they want, but I think it's more fun to go, you know, find them out in the wild. Some of these I'm probably going to get rid of, maybe eventually. It's just going to take some time. I've got to get excited about listing them or whatever. And once I have the money for those, then I can maybe go out and like get better ones or whatever. I don't think I'll ever have like the biggest, baddest video game collection. I know I won't. But I think it's cool to have some of the ones that I really enjoyed looking back. But collecting retro is always... it's always really cool to me. So that's it. Hope you got a laugh. Hope you're staying cool. I know I'm not. Thanks for watching.